Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to explore some of the myths and facts about the continent of Africa. Many people have misconceptions about this beautiful and diverse continent, so we thought it was important to set the record straight. Let's get started. Myth number 1, Africa is just one big country. Fact: Africa is actually a continent made up of 54 different countries, each with its own unique culture, language, and history. Myth number 2, Africa is a poor, underdeveloped continent. Fact: while many African countries do face poverty and underdevelopment, there are also many thriving economies and vibrant cities throughout the continent. In fact, several African countries have some of the fastest growing economies in the world. Myth number 3, Africa is all savannas and deserts. Fact: Africa has a diverse range of landscapes, including rainforests, mountains, and coastlines. It is also home to some of the world's most diverse wildlife, including elephants, lions, and gorillas. Yes, there are a whole host of exciting wild animals and gorgeous savannas in some regions of Africa. However, there are also huge cities, rolling beaches, historic ancient monuments, and more. Myth number 4, Africans are all the same. Fact: Africans come from a wide variety of ethnic and cultural backgrounds, with different languages, religions, and traditions. There is no one African culture or identity. One region of Africa is not identical to another. Myth number 5, Africa is a dangerous place. Fact: while there are certainly areas of Africa that can be dangerous, crime rates vary widely across the continent. In many places, people go about their daily lives without experiencing any danger or violence. Of course, if you were to visit Africa, you would likely avoid certain locations, but there are plenty of perfectly safe locations to visit. The following places in Africa are popular for tourism. Morocco. There are pristine beaches, opportunities for trekking the magnificent landscape, plenty of history, and festivals to be discovered in a Moroccan adventure. South Africa. Cape Town and South Africa are continually named on must-see travel lists due to their rich culture, wildlife, and beautiful landscapes. Senegal. Popular Senegal attractions include Gorée Island, Dakar, and Pink Lake. The Casamance region is also popular for dolphin watching and visiting remote beaches. Ghana. With its rich history and diverse wildlife, Ghana is a well-traveled destination for tourists. The locals are known for being some of the friendliest in the world. Tanzania. A view of breathtaking Mount Kilimanjaro is enough to attract most people to Tanzania. But if that's not enough, there's also the Serengeti, multicultural food, and welcoming locals. It's always recommended to take customary precautions when visiting a country that is foreign to you, such as enrolling in a smart traveler program, determining where your embassy is before traveling, and getting your immunizations. Myth number 6, Africa is technologically backward. Fact: while some African countries may not have the same level of technological infrastructure as some developed nations, many are making significant strides in areas such as mobile technology and renewable energy. Technology in Africa is actually an incredibly fast-growing market, with many global technology giants making big investments in the continent. Did you know that people in Kenya are 4 times more likely to own a mobile phone than to have access to a toilet or latrine? As of 2013, 80% of African people had access to a mobile. Mobile technology is also being used in very innovative and exciting ways to help end extreme poverty across Africa. Check out this story of mobile insurance creating financial stability for people in Ghana. Myth number 7, all African governments and politics are corrupt. Fact: there's a shared misconception that every aspect of African politics is fueled by corruption and deceit. It's true that the continent has experienced its share of corrupt leadership, but it's also true that Africa has experienced some noteworthy leadership. Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa, was an anti-apartheid politician and revolutionary who earned the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. 3 women, 2 of them African, won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011. Lama Bowie from Liberia and President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia were awarded the honor for their work in spearheading the women's peace movement that led to the conclusion of the Second Liberian Civil War. Africa's young entrepreneurs are relentless when it comes to making continued progress. They're dedicated to persistent positive change, and the people of Africa will undoubtedly continue to develop. Myth number 8, Africans are all poor and uneducated. Fact: while poverty and lack of education are certainly issues in some parts of Africa, there are also many successful and highly educated Africans. In fact, many African countries have made significant strides in improving access to education in recent years. Did you know that 6 of the 10 fastest-growing economies in the world are African? Myth number 9, Africans do nothing to help themselves. Fact: the stereotype of African people as helpless and dependent on Western help is one that has been built by decades of well-meaning but arguably dangerous charity advertisements in the West. Bombarded by images of sad, dirty children with eyes that call you to urgently donate money, it's no surprise that this is a common belief. The debate around how development charities should advertise is a complex one, but these photos often ignore the fact that African people can and do help themselves. In 2010, Africans who lived outside the continent sent $51.8 billion back to Africa. Meanwhile, $43 billion was sent in aid from Western countries, known as Official Development Assistance, ODA. Yes, you read that right. African people who now live outside the continent send more money back to their families than the whole Western world sends in aid. There are also countless examples of grassroots projects established by African people, for African people. One is Hawa Abdi, an incredible Somalian woman who established a health clinic in the 1980s. It's now grown to encompass a school, refugee camp and hospital for over 90,000 women and children made homeless in the war. Incredible, huh? Myth number 10, African food is not for everyone. Fact: African cuisine is enjoyed by people all over the world, regardless of their cultural background or ethnicity. By trying new dishes and exploring different flavors, you may discover a newfound love for African food. And that's it for today's video. We hope that we've helped to dispel some of the myths about Africa and give you a better understanding of this incredible continent. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Like, share, subscribe.